Bad Boy Artist Careers Ruined by Sean Puff Daddy Combs. Part 1. 112 B.I.G, Danity Kane. Hashtag Diddy Pay Your Artist. Bad Boy Records. One of hip-hop's most legendary labels, Bad Boy Records, brought forth a wave of iconic artists and movements during a time when gangster rap was all the rage. Diddy and his many pseudonyms, which will probably alternate throughout this video, so bear with me, after being fired from his internship duties over at Uptown Records, got the brilliant idea to create his own hip-hop inspired label, capitalizing off of rap's steady increasing popularity, and thus Bad Boy Records was established. The come-up from the label wouldn't see its big break till Diddy discovered a young Christopher Wallace rapping in front of a convenience store, to which Puff quickly took an interest in, making Christopher one of the first artists to be signed to his Bad Boy roster. Wallace went on to become the Notorious B.I.G and propelled the Bad Boy label into the publicity and notoriety Diddy had envisioned. Things were going great, till Diddy, being the extravagant, knows how to keep his name in the spotlight type of person he is, got involved with the whole East Coast versus West Coast beef situation they had going on between Biggie and Pac and them. As you may already know, the beef left multiple people injured and Pac and Biggie deceased, with speculations of Diddy's involvement regarding their deaths being brought up for debate till this day. The talk of Diddy's shady business practices has been the talk of the town since Bad Boy's launch in '93, with many of his once upon a time artists blasting the label exec for unpaid royalties, uncredited projects, publishing rights, and much more. We've seen him curate groups together on his MTV reality competition series, Making the Band, where his second girl group, Danity Kane, came about. But like many artists on Bad Boy's roster, after a couple of successful performances, television appearances, and one or two hit singles, it all seems to lead down the same unfortunate fate of granted wishes that slowly vanish into oblivion. The ultimate fate of his artist became known as the Bad Boy Curse. Accusations of Puffy holding on to artist projects long after their departure till they end up broke before he even agrees to release them has also resurfaced, along with talks of being blacklisted by Diddy after the fact. Let's get into the list of Bad Boy artists whose careers were sabotaged or ruined by Mr. Sean Combs. Craig Mack. Starting off with one of the first artists on the label, Craig Mack got signed to Bad Boy in 1993, the same year the label had launched. He wouldn't get his big break until his song Flavor in Your Ear hit airwaves. Craig often accompanied Diddy to TV interviews and appearances alongside OG Bad Boy artists like Biggie, and Puffy even told viewers on live television that a Craig Mack album was on the way. With Mack standing next to him as the news was announced, you can assume that Craig was genuinely shocked about his album dropping.
Yeah, definitely. We got a new album we're working on him to drop in January. Besides that, we about to just drop our R&B stuff.
The album was overshadowed by Biggie's debut, Ready to Die, which was released a week prior. Eventually, Craig had enough of Diddy's empty promises and parted ways with Bad Boy in the year of '95, crediting financial issues for the split. He ultimately left the hip-hop world altogether a few years later. Craig passed away in 2018 due to heart failure, and fans were notified that Diddy was nowhere in sight at his memorial service. But before y'all get crunk in the comments, DJ Scratch, who was the only industry-associated person in attendance, claimed that Diddy had no idea about the service due to the religious community Craig was involved in, not wanting outsiders who weren't in his immediate family or friend circle into the service. And Diddy did offer to pay for his funeral after finding out about his passing. B5. Following the footsteps of other musical family groups, B5 consisted of brothers Dustin, Kelly, Patrick, Carnell, and Brian. The Florida natives caught the attention of Diddy and officially signed them to his label after a small bidding war between the group and another label, releasing songs like their cover of the Jackson 5's All I Do and appearing on the Disney Channel, performing their own rendition of Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf.
Let's ride. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The
Their career looked promising, and Diddy had them steered in the right direction. Their debut album, B5, was released in 2005 and has sold over 200,000 copies since its released. Their follow-up album was released 2 years later, but didn't quite hold up to the hype of their first album. Label issues and political agendas were brought into the mix, and they were released from the label shortly after. Younger member Brian felt froggy and leaped when he took to his Instagram account on the 15th anniversary of B5's album with a lengthy caption writing, "Looking back at it now is full of bittersweet memories, sharing my life with my 4 older brothers and cousin, Carnell. Music was my pride, joy, and passion. Only short-lived though, after being exposed to the deep levels of politics and agendas, quickly helped me realize that the music business is less about music and more about the business. We made about 99.9% of all our income from live performances and merchandise. Until this day, I've never seen a penny from any of our B5 commercial albums." His older brother Patrick wrote under Brian's post, backing up Brian's claims, adding that Disney has yet to pay them for their songwriting. Black Rob. His 1998 hit song Whoa had everyone doing their own version of the Whoa before it was even a thing. After being signed in 1996, Black Rob wouldn't see mainstream success till 2 years later with the release of his album Life Story in 1999. He was convicted for robbery in 2006. After being caught with stolen jewelry, he spent 4 years behind bars, and his career was stagnant till he got out in 2010, leaving Bad Boy for Duck Down Records shortly after. In an interview back in 2011 he did with FutureIMag.com, Rob confessed that Bad Boy used his second album, Black Rob Report, as a springboard for a Biggie project, and that the label basically left him for dead. "I had my money. They did nothing to keep my name alive. They took me off their website, just left me for dead." Ironically enough, Rob passed away in early 2021 due to kidney failure, and fans quickly came for Diddy's throat, claiming he hadn't done enough for Rob. But we have to say that, contrary to that belief, Rob's family have spoken out and stated that Diddy has always been there, even booking Rob hotel rooms, flights, and paying for hospital bills. So take that as you will. 112. Unlike their hit song Peaches and Cream, things weren't all peaches and cream for 112's stint on the Bad Boy label. Releasing a total of 4 albums, the group was the first R&B acts under the label. That is until 2002, when 112 signed with Def Soul on the Low, which Diddy didn't take lightly. He ended up filing a whole lawsuit against them, claiming that they hadn't fulfilled their Bad Boy obligations. The group never recovered from this. Jordan McCoy. Pop rock artist Jordan McCoy got her big break when she became a finalist on the only season of American Idol's spin-off show, American Junior, in the summer of 2003. An associate of Diddy's, who went by Hammond, convinced him to listen to a young McCoy sing. The results led Jordan to being signed in 2006. She often put her writing skills to work, writing songs for other artists like Fergie's Big Girls Don't Cry, with her first track, Watch Me,
Don't tell me that I'm out of line, or that I'm shooting way too high,
being released. It got some buzz, but not enough to keep the ball rolling. After a scrapped reality show and beef involving Fergie over songwriting credits, Jordan was dropped from the label in 2009. Shyne. Rapper Shyne was signed in 1998 and had a more than promising career after Diddy took him under his wing. With his strong voice and easy flow, Diddy was basically raking up Shyne's momentum to become Biggie's replacement. But life hit him like a train just 1 year after he signed those dotted lines, when a 1999 incident at a New York club, yes, the incident where Diddy was with J-Lo, had him facing a decade behind bars. Diddy and Shyne were both arrested for weapons violations, bribery, attempted murder, and reckless endangerment. During the ordeal, Puff made sure to have the best of the best lawyers, hiring Johnny Cochran as his, leaving Shyne to fend for himself. Diddy was found not guilty, while Shyne served 10 years for the exact same charge. His decade-long sentence had a lot to do with the fact that he was defending Diddy instead of throwing him under the bus, and his self-titled debut album would be released while he was locked up awaiting trial. As if things weren't bad enough, it came to light that the bullets fired weren't even from Shyne's gun. Danity Kane. Diddy's second attempt at an all-female group, Danity Kane, came together in 2005 after auditioning for MTV's Making the Band. The group consisted of members Andrea Fimbers, Dawn Richards, Aubrey O'Day, and Shannon Bex, and they had a fantastic run for the time being. Releasing their debut album in 2006, it garnered mass success, shipping over 1 million copies worldwide, producing 2 top 10 hits with their songs Showstopper and Ride For You. In 2008, their most popular song, and the song that probably made up many of your childhoods, Damaged, spun them into becoming the first girl group in Billboard history to debut their first 2 back-to-back albums at the top of the chart. It wasn't until Diddy got bold and fired Aubrey on national TV at the height of their career, claiming she was trying to be too promiscuous, leaving many of DK fans stunned.
I don't want you in the group no more. That's where I'm at with it. Okay. All right, because I don't want to even have to have this conversation.
The group later disbanded, with Dawn later becoming a part of Diddy's Dirty Money crew. The group tried several times to try and get back together, but never truly got back the hype they once had. As for now, the group is on an indefinite hiatus. This isn't even half of the artists Diddy supposedly screwed over or ended up in a series of unfortunate events. So make sure you subscribe and keep a lookout for part 2. Let us know what you think in the comments section down below.